But I think it does matter. I think it says something that when Trump says crazy things, people go out and do crazy shit. Like, nobody's citing Biden.
We'll trace that, though. Like, what has he said that has led to someone doing something?
Well, like he said, the 2020 election was rigged. He said that mail-in ballots were fake.
Mm-hmm.
He brought a ton of people to the Capitol. They went and did some crazy shit. There was the recent guy who, the kid who live streamed himself running over those two girls, who followed like a ton of like Trump and Charlie Kirk shit, and he said that these two girls were like making fun of Charlie Kirk's death. And in terms of, like, I know that's always a secret defense.
No, I really don't. Seriously, I don't know about that one.
I understand, but I feel like it's.
Yeah. But like again, the point is that you should know about it, right? That's the entire point. Is that you not knowing about that can be a valid defense in a lot of scenarios if you're trying to find out more about it in a good faith manner, right? But the fact that you don't know about it shows that, okay, there is a problem in the way that you're perceiving reality. We don't live in the same reality if you don't know about this, right? Because you do not know about this, we can't even argue about the moral the moral question. We cannot argue a moral question if we do not live in the same descriptive reality, right? Because in my world, I'm getting this information, I'm searching up the facts, I'm doing the research, okay? But in your world, you're making a prescription, you're making moral judgments and you're making moral prescriptions when you don't have the most important details, the most important facts, right? So that is why that's important. Because usually when somebody says, oh, I didn't know about that. Okay, fine. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Not in this case, okay?
Big part of the problem. I feel like conservatives only ever hear about the things that like are the most relevant to them, and then
no, like I'm online, I'm on Twitter every day. I watch like a lot of videos. I watch like a lot of videos.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Everyone
But I'm saying that like
too.
if I were to like say that like I'm on Twitter every day, like we're seeing different things unless we're going out explicitly looking for contradictory evidence, right?
I'm talking like the big name stories. Like my first example was a Charlie Kirk assassination.
Yeah, but the big name stories are what conservatives want to be the big name stories, right?
Maybe. Like I don't know.
Do you agree that it was?
To mean?
So I would say that it was unacceptable. I would say this is an instantaneous impeachment, like exile from the country moment. When Donald Trump was asked by, is it Caitlin Collins? Is that her name? Yes. When she was, I think it was her that asked the question. Well, she said, "You wanted to lower the flag to half staff for Charlie Kirk. Do you think, in retrospect, that it's kind of in poor taste that you didn't do this for the Hortmans when they were killed in Minnesota, and Trump didn't even know about it? Like that seems exceptionally crazy to me. No?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
This is my first time hearing this.
I know.
No, I'm serious.
Stop.
Yeah.
Calm down. You fuckers don't know about shit unless I watch on stream either. Okay, so fuck you guys. Motherfuckers. I know how this shit works. Okay.
True.
So
that's true.
I just don't feel comfortable commenting on something I don't really know the whole case for.
Let's assume that was true. Would that be a disgraceful, disgusting moment?
That he didn't lower at half mast?
No, that he didn't even acknowledge that he knew about it. He was like, I don't know, who's that?
That would be bad. But like,
did you ever see the video after the shooting happened where somebody asked him outside the plane? They were like, "Are you going to call, Tim Walz and talk to him?" And he's like, "That guy's a whack job or whatever. I'm not going to call him or say anything."
No.
Okay. If he,
you know what the correct answer is? The correct, like for example, if you ever feel ashamed because you only get your news from Destiny or something, what you have to then justify is that, yeah, it is a good source of news to get your news from. I think that is the justification you need to make, okay? It isn't the fact that you need to diversify. It's about the credibility of your source, right? It's about how many fake news have this person done, how many fake news, whatever, right? Let's just say you get all your news from Destiny, which I'm sure a lot of people do, including me, okay? Like, the thing is that, okay, how credible is Destiny? When has he lied about politics? When has this not lined up with mainstream opinion? On the points where Destiny does not align on mainstream opinion, why does he disagree with that, right? If you can answer all these questions and you can answer why you only go to Destiny for the news, there's no problem. There really isn't. Because the thing is that if you are the way that you're like, how do I say it? Because it shouldn't be on you to read articles all day. I don't think so. I think that's unreasonable. I think it's unreasonable to force somebody into a media consumption habit that they're totally not used to, completely foreign to, okay? It's about the way that you're taking. So if you do consume media in a certain way, make sure you're consuming media in a good way, okay? Yeah, from the correct sources, right? Just justify your source. That's it. Justify your source. Justify the credibility of your source, right? Yeah. Reminder, if you're getting your news from Destiny, you're getting it from me. That's actually kind of true. Yeah. I mean, Destiny does pay you to prepare the docket for him, right? If you guys don't know, the reason why I probably shouldn't be taking Radiant too seriously, to be honest. But the thing is when I was, isn't that so funny? Because Radiant basically gets the paycheck to prepare Destiny's docket. Okay, if you don't know. Yeah, Radiant gets the paycheck from Destiny to prepare Destiny's stream. So Destiny's stream is prepared by Radiant. Okay, yeah, that's why I listen to him. But he sucks. That's all I'm gonna say.
Did say that. That would be kind of bad too, though, right?
That was too fast. I didn't.
If he did say that, though, that would be bad, right?
What did you say? I
That
didn't comprehend
when he
what
was
you
asked, I think outside of Air Force One, they were like, "Are you going to call Tim Walz or have a conversation or reach out to the governor of Minnesota or anything?" And Trump was like, "That Walz is a whack job."
Listen, the only reason why I forgive Radiant is because Radiant is like a hardcore Foodshops fan, okay? All right? Is that Radiant is a hardcore fan of mine, okay? That's the only reason I give him this much fucking levity, okay? Whatever.
I'm not going to talk to him, whatever.
Yeah. I would say that's bad. I would say that's bad. But
and then just real quick, and then you go to your point. Would you say that those two things together, those two things together are worse than anything that Biden has said in the totality of his presidency about Republicans, or any individual instance of violence ever? Or you can include Obama there too, and Clinton, and the other.
I don't know if I would say that. I would
like,
have
can
to,
you think
I would
of
have
one
to
worse?
go back.
Yeah, just think of one. Maybe not off the top of your head, you can't. But like, can you think of one worse? Like, what's the worst thing that like Biden ever said about a?
Well, I'm not like necessarily like a huge Biden critic or anything. I'm just saying like I know he was escalating rhetoric towards conservatives. Saying
Biden was?
Yeah, like what was it?
You're gonna bring up the speech.
Oh yeah. It's probably the speech. What was that after? Do you remember?
The mag.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how I'm now watching you do something? Hello, XB. Isn't it funny how like because I wonder, dude, it's actually kind of funny because Radiant apparently tells me, and who knows, maybe there's an exaggeration, that while he's watching my stream, he's preparing the next stream docket for Destiny. So I'm covering Destiny, which Radiant is using the background noise of to prepare Destiny's next stream, which I then react to. It's like electronic incest, right? It's like inbreeding, right? That's what it is. It's inbreeding. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, that's.
Republicans
Anyway.
ones that they're a threat to the country.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Is it the one with the red background where he looks like
Watch
Darth Vader?
Reels?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is a red background. It is a red background.
So in that speech, like right after he says that, so Republicans always quote that one line, but he says, "I don't think that all Republicans are MAGA Republicans. I don't even think most of them are. I've worked with a lot of them in Congress, blah, blah, blah." But the thing that he's talking about, and I don't know how else he's supposed to address this, is the fact that
Circle of life, yeah, Ouroboros.
believe the results of the last election. So when he says that, like, this is a threat to the country,
and they're allowed to believe that. They're allowed to.
I mean,
People are allowed to. Yeah, they're allowed to believe that.
Well, no, hold on. I'm just.
What do you mean when I don't have to respond to this? But what do you mean? Do I believe it or not?
No, I didn't ask you to believe it. I'm just saying that, like, well, if people are allowed to believe that, then that means that Biden should be allowed to believe that they're a threat to the country, right?
If people
are allowed to believe that the election
he's allowed to believe it. I'm just using this as an example of him inciting rhetoric, which is kind of a liberal talking point of like, let's focus on who's inciting the rhetoric. And so I'm analyzing who's inciting the rhetoric, and we keep pointing at instances before the Kirk assassination, and before that happened was the Trump assassination attempts. And I remember your rhetoric on this too. And so
that guy was also a registered Republican, right?
Damning. That guy was a registered Republican?
Both of them were, right?
Well, I don't know if that necessarily matters actually.
Well,
Like,
but if they were a registered left-leaning person, do you think that would matter? If they were
Dude, this is like. I'm tired, boss. Boss, I'm tired.
I think
Boss,
it's
I'm
enough
tired.
evidence to say if they're taking out one of the top guys or the president, that means they don't like him.
Well, what about the evidence that
And
the
we live
guy?
in a
What
two-party
about
system.
the assassin for the Hortmans? That wasn't enough evidence there that person and the list of all the other
I'm not
Democrats.
saying
that
there
went
is evidence there. We're working with two different rules. You're
Sure.
saying we should demand that the presidents denounce political violence or condemn it on the world stage. I'm saying we should condemn online media influencers because they're in charge of the culture now.
Yeah, but I think the
which
right
has a
takes
big
their.
I think you should condemn online media influencers, but if we're gonna talk about that, who like which side of the aisle, whose content creators and media influencers are doing all the instigating, right? I would argue it's the right? Listen, Fine, I'll concede one thing, okay? Let's just say Destiny is a part of that. Let's just say Destiny, Vosh, and Hasan are a part of that instigation on the left, okay? But on the right, you have like you have people like Benny, right? Benny Johnson, like fucking Ben Shapiro, right? Steven Crowder. You have Candace Owens. You have Charlie Kirk, who is now dead. You have Turning Point, which persists after Charlie Kirk has been dead. Trump. You have all of Trump's cabinet, Trump's son. You have, like, I could go on and on. Okay, I'm just saying, there's like, it's not even close. It's not even close. Okay.
Votes from Trump.
Well, I'm just going to disagree with that.
Can you give me any examples where there are huge?
They don't take notes from Trump. Like
when
the
Trump says
right-wing
something, they'll always
culture
defend
was
it.
built independently, which resulted in Trump getting elected.
Yeah, but now Trump works with it, and there's like a top-down like structure where when Trump says something, everyone else is saying it, and everybody supports it.
Like president.
But Trump is the biggest media influencer. True. Yeah.
Can influence culture from the top down, but it's mostly just in terms of we have the authority to enforce what the culture is saying.
Well, then why did all Republicans seem to not care as much about the Epstein files?
I don't know how that's related.
Well, because if that's what that seemed like they really cared about it for a while, but why did they stop? It's because Trump told them to stop because he said it was a loser issue, and then everybody took notes from him, and eventually that's.
Just a reminder, okay? Trump was also the one that called off January 6th, right? Like, let's not lie to ourselves, okay? Trump was the one that called off January 6th, right? Without Trump calling off January, he was the one that caused January 6th, which then the solution is Trump also calling off January 6th. And at first, the craziest part about it is that at first he didn't even want to call it off. He didn't want to, right? He made a tweet not calling it off. How is it? You have this person who is so powerful, okay? You have a person who's so powerful that he can call off he can call off an attack on the Capitol building of the most powerful country in the world with a single fucking tweet. Not even with a speech, not with a speech, not with anything crazy. A tweet. What? You tell me that isn't like actual power. That is gruesome amounts of power. That's like heinous, putrid amounts of power, right? Yeah.
Cascaded through the party.
My whole point is like you can condemn individual Republicans
after 3 hours, right? I believe so. Yes, 3 or 4 hours.
For not if they were big on Epstein files and then
crazy
because they didn't want it to get found out. I think you can criticize individuals.
Yeah, Lisan Al-Gaib.
That's my whole paradigm is like we shouldn't be holding people responsible. We should just hold the people. I mean, the only people responsible would be the online media influencers for the culture and the rhetoric. But like, you could just criticize individuals. You could criticize Charlie Kirk for what he said. It doesn't matter.
I don't understand why we think that like the president of the United States can't have a large influence on the culture.
No, I'm not saying he can't.
Then shouldn't he be disavowing violence?
Nowadays, which is different than history, it's the culture is run independently. It's through independent media.
Okay, I disagree, but we don't even have to agree on that point. Shouldn't Trump disavow violence?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it's a moral failing of his to not disavow violence.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's a greater moral failing for him to say that violence on his side is somewhat justified.
Violence on his side is somewhat. I don't know about that.
So when he was on Fox and Friends, they asked him about like violence on the left or the radical violence, and he says that when it was something I'm paraphrasing, but he says like when the leftists do radical violence, it's like Transtifa or whatever stuff, but when the right does radical violence, it's in response to the left being crazy.
I just finished watching this fucking stream. OMG, these people. No kidding.
So like, in a way, he made it sound like right-wing radical violence was righteous, and
I kind of believe that. I kind of agree with that. Like when we trace it.
I think I might watch this entire debate through, just mainly because like I am more interested personally in the violence double standards talking point, because I've been covering the double standards poisoning for a while now. And yeah, I'm just more interested in like the way that people measure double standards in this country. Yeah. Because I'm so black-pilled, like I'm so black-pilled about double standards that I actually do think that it is worth it to lose moderate voters if you're helping correct the double standards poisoning in this country. Like I actually do believe my two beliefs is that one, I think that it's worth it to lose moderate voters if it means fixing the double standards. And it's worth it to, I think that you also need to admit that moderate voters and people in the middle are radical people, okay? They're not people who are middle of the aisle, who are dinner table issues, right? Who are just very undecided on everything. They're not undecided. Moderate voters are not undecided, okay? this notion of them being undecided is misleading, okay? Because they're going to vote for Trump, right? They're going to vote for Trump. That's it. Right? I have yet to meet one moderate that actually is a liberal. Okay? I've yet to meet one moderate that describes himself as a liberal, like has liberal beliefs, like acts in the same way as that. Okay? I haven't even met even one. Just give me one and I'll be disproven. Okay?
Back, and I've been following you a long time. I've been politics.
Oh, sorry. The only one I can think off the top of my head is Short Fat Otaku, but he's not even American. He's Canadian, okay? And he said that he would vote for, Kamala Harris.
It takes a long time. When we trace it back, the first instance for me of like excusing political violence on a big scale was BLM Antifa, and that happened before J6. That happened before J6. So I'm like, I saw a ton of people excusing it, bailout funds for the rioters, and someone at the end of it, towards the end of it, someone.
Oh yeah, by the way, this talk about like bailing out the rioters is a moot point. Okay, when all the J6ers have been pardoned and Charlie Kirk has advocated for paying the bond for Paul Pelosi's attacker, this is a moot point. Okay, it's a moot point. All right, I bet that's what Dusty's going to say.
Was shot in cold blood. A conservative was shot in cold blood about that, and there wasn't any denouncing of violence there. So it is important to go to the first infraction. I'm curious to know what your first infraction.
Well, probably shots fired in the Revolutionary War or something. I mean, like, there's been violence for a lot of U.S. history, right?
Yeah.
But I'm when I look at the BLM stuff, I feel like there's a difference in that a lot of this is like decentralized. It sucks because conservatives make so many excuses for Trump because of COVID, but they never make excuses for Democrats on COVID, which is whatever, I guess. But like everybody was crazy around the fucking BLM riot time, right? Everybody's inside. We all watched George Floyd die for 9 minutes, and just people fucking lose their minds. I think a lot of the BLM like rioting stuff, I think was bad. Destroying neighborhoods, all this shit, I think is always bad. I think Democrats paid electoral prices for it, and I think a lot of them, when Biden came into office, he had to denounce and say that like violence is unacceptable, guys. We can't riot. It's not okay.
But why do you think it's important to say on both sides if we know the side that it came from?
Well, because violence does come from the right, and we should all want.
But I'm asking you for the first example where it came from the right that was before BLM Antifa.
What do you mean?
The first example of like political violence that came from the right that was before BLM Antifa. You know, like in my lifetime.
What about it? Or are you asking for like an example of it?
Because you get into a revenge cycle. The first time that infraction's made and politicians don't denounce it and everyone supports it, and we can get into BLM Antifa, but like the first time that's made, then the other side has the prisoner's dilemma of like, okay, well, we can't just be condemning, you know, our side.
But the Democrats have been condemning their side over and over again, and everybody.
Well, you're kind of just making the all lives matter argument of like, oh, we're condemning
you guys made the all lives matter.
Well, you're
Why is it that every single conservative argument is also the same? I think it's wild to me that like I feel like they just have no development in their rhetoric, right? Like I feel like they always say the same thing over and over and over and over again. They don't improve anything they're saying. They don't make new talking points. It's the same examples, and you just use the same refutation. The only thing that they know how to do is to create more rage bait, right? The more rage bait they create, the more like instigations that they make. You know,
making it now. You're saying we need to condemn all violence, even if you knew it came from one side.
Sure, I think we should all condemn all violence. I think that's a pretty acceptable.
That is kind of just an arbitrary rule that you created.
That's not. I think it's a really good rule that everybody should condemn political violence.
Before you can be principled about that, like because that's really what's happening is you're saying before
I am principled about it.
Before I can make any statement on Charlie Kirk, it's like I need to know
that I have a partner in civility.
I need to ask President Trump.
Yeah.
I need to ask him as if that would do anything. I need to ask him to turn down the rhetoric before you, Destiny, make a.
Yeah, that's a principled position.
Wait, hold on. You know what drives me nuts? Why did this person right here just say, oh, telling Trump to do something? Yeah, as if he would do anything. Motherfucker, he's the president of the United States. Shouldn't you make demands of the president of the United States? What? What are you on? Is he or is he not an elected representative? Did you or did you not vote him in? Right? As if he would do anything. All the onus is on Trump. Right? Almost, if not all the onus is on Trump. Okay? Why did you say that? You sound so retarded, right?
Better than Trump's, right?
Don't question King Trump. Okay, I promise I won't. Okay, all right, I got you. Okay.
Right?
But my principle is better. Is what
I don't
I'm
care
saying.
about your principle. I care about the president, the leadership of the United States, right? You acknowledge that
I'm
I have a
here-
different. You acknowledge I have a different principle than Donald Trump, right?
But I'm here to criticize you. Like that's what I'm
Okay.
here
Well,
for.
then my position is
But-
that
but
I
we-
think that it's
we
I think that it's
compared
as
it.
somebody
We already
who's a
compared it to Donald Trump.
what?
We already compared it to Donald Trump, and I'm saying if you go back, my paradigm.
So you think it's
lasts longer.
immoral? You think it's immoral to have the position of I'm willing to condemn violence. I condemn all violence. I'm willing to condemn any amount of violence as long as my civil partner is on the same page as me and is willing to condemn it as well. Do you think that's an immoral position to hold?
Not an immoral position necessarily. I'm just like, why can't?
What is HEMO?
It seems like what we understand about like principal positions is more in line with what I'm talking about. Is you
How?
can make
Why
it
do you lock your car
can
door
make
at
it
night?
regardless.
Do you lock your car doors?
Do I lock? Yes.
Why?
I lock my car doors, so it's safe. Everything.
Yeah, because somebody might break in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like you take precautions if you feel like
Regardless,
another side is
I don't
gonna-
need him to do anything to lock my doors.
Yeah, I understand that, but like I don't know if you would like necessarily like lock the kitchen cabinet cereal away from like a partner or whatever because they're going to steal it. 'Cause you have some level of trust there, right? When you're operating in a civil society, there's some level of trust between you and the other side or the other sides or the other parties involved. When that trust is broken, there's no morality or virtue in constantly attacking your own side over and over and over again. I would say that that's actually an immoral position because all you're really doing is throwing, especially the more.
How is it not like?
So this applies to not so erudite, right? I'm just gonna say this. I don't know. Like the thing is that erudite, I can. I really need access to that VOD. I really need access to Erudite's VOD because I'm about to drive myself nuts not having access to Erudite's VOD. When you're attacking Steven in public, right? If you're attacking Steven in public in front of his enemies, that's a detriment. That's a detriment. Okay, I'm sorry, that's a detriment to your own side. Why would you do? Anyway.
It's the most easiest principal position to take to like come out and condemn political violence.
I agree.
In
That's
the
why
case
it's
of the
immoral
Charlie
because
Kirk
it's an easy
assassination.
position to take. It's thoughtless, it's brainless, and it accomplishes
No, but
nothing.
the Democrats have always used this
Jesus.
just as a weaponization tactic to recuse accountability from
But
their
they
side.
don't. Every Democrat came
If
out
you-
and criticized the Charlie Kirk for political violence. When Trump got, do you recognize that Trump and Biden react differently? Like when natural disasters happen, that Biden deploys FEMA immediately, doesn't play games with it. Trump plays games with it. Do you acknowledge that?
I don't understand what that point is.
So Biden will immediately reach out to governors. He'll immediately make whatever funds available needs to be available. He'll call people, talk to people, whatever. Trump will play games. In California, he was saying, well, you guys have to agree to change the water rules, or I'm not sure if I'm even going to send FEMA to blue state. Trump plays games with it. Biden doesn't play games with it, right?
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. What
I'm,
is that
I'm,
supposed
it's just,
to-
it doesn't have to mean anything. I'm just asking a simple question. That Biden, if there is a natural disaster in a state, you don't have to worry if Biden is the president, if anything's going to happen. You know that he's going to do what he needs to do as president to step up and provide those resources. With Trump, I have no idea. If I was a Californian and a natural disaster came, I have no fucking idea if Trump's going to actually step up and do what he should do as leader and deploy FEMA in the way that it should be.
I don't know either, but
That's not good, right?
I don't see what your point is.
No, I don't.
see what-
Stop
I don't see what
trying
your
to
point is.
preempt my argument. I'm just saying that in and of itself, that's a bad, immoral thing, right?
What is?
That Trump won't do his job as president and take care of Americans, all American citizens.
Yeah, sure.
Well, sure. It's a bad thing. It's immoral. It's like a huge failing as leader. It's one of the few
Well, you have
things.
to weigh that against all.
This is so painful. Oh my god, dude. This is double standards brain rot. This is what I've been talking about this entire time. This is double standards brain rot. Like he has a soft spoken voice, right? He's not shouting at you. He is polite, right? Like this debater is polite, right? But the thing is that it's frustrating when people are saying you should be trying to appeal to these groups of people because they're polite, because they're well-mannered, right? No, stop, okay? He's like, Bro is using manners to advocate for genocide. Like if Netanyahu was like politely saying, and this is why we need to destroy them all, you wouldn't be saying the same thing, even though he's being polite about it. You think Putin is being polite when he's like ordering like fucking drone strikes on like Ukraine? You think Putin shouts? You think Putin, maybe he does, okay? But you think Putin shouts in public? Like, you can't say that, like, politeness and a willingness to hear the other side is enough. Like, this is crazy to me.
All
Anyway,
the
sorry.
other things that he's
Most of them are DEGers. Then they suck. They're the worst DEGers then. Okay.
responsible.
It doesn't matter what else you
That's
said.
the
That
only-
in and of itself is
All
like a
right,
moral failing. Like he should.
I'll say yes because
Okay.
it really doesn't mean that much to me. My whole point was like, why are you asking us to do something before you can make your take?
I've already made my take.
When we know that it doesn't even do anything, you already admitted that, like, oh, the president coming out and condemning all violence doesn't do anything.
When have I ever said that?
You said that at the beginning. Hence the political assassinations that happened afterwards. You said that, Destiny.
Wait, I said that the president condemning violence doesn't do anything?
Yes, you said it doesn't end up doing anything.
Well, when did you say
I
that?
don't. Did I say this?
Verbatim. Almost verbatim.
I don't think I said this.
Run it back.
Huh?
Run it back.
How can I run it back?
There we go. Run it back.
If I thought that the president disavowing violence didn't do anything, then why would I ask Trump to disavow violence?
No, that's my question. Why would you ask Trump to disavow violence?
We just spent the whole beginning part of this debate where you were arguing that the president disavowing violence doesn't matter because the culture is controlled more by alternative media and online figures, and I was saying no, I think the president matters.
All I have to define is my paradigm, which doesn't recuse people of say all lives matter. Basically, if we just say we should condemn all violence, that's not the truth of the situation. Like if you were to say the same thing about BLM Antifa, it's like that's not the truth of the situation. This is the all lives matter.
The issue, yeah, but the issue is that. Wait, so are you just checking? Are you acknowledging that the all lives matter argument was a bullshit argument?
A bullshit argument? No, I'm not taking a position on this.
Okay, well, because you're using it against me like it's a bullshit argument. The issue.
No, I'm just letting people know. I'm just letting people what you're using.
Okay, do you acknowledge that if for nuclear weapons, it wouldn't be moral for the United States to just throw away all of our nukes into the sea, right?
Yeah.
That there's a morality there to protecting ourselves, to protecting our own citizens with a nuclear stockpile, and unless Russia agrees to it at the same time, we can't do it, right?
Yeah.
So I apply the same scenario to I imagine, apply it to the Second Amendment. We apply it to most places in our life that we're civil with people who agree to be civil with us. You can't enforce civility from one side. It has to come from cooperation from two individuals.
I agree with you. That's why you have to call out the truth of who was responsible.
Let's
say all,
sure.
like every time just say all and it doesn't do anything.
Let's
and
roll
you
this
don't
back.
follow
Sure,
this
let's
rule,
roll this back, okay? Let's say that there's one side that now I know that you're not going to agree with this reality, but let's say hypothetically one side never calls out their own side when there's violence. They never condemn their own side when there's violence. They ratchet up the temperature over and over again when there's violence. And then when there is violence on the other side, they say you guys need to disavow all your violence. Do you think that in that world, is it moral for the other side who maybe isn't even being?
Dude, this is how I feel. This is just how I feel, okay? It's this meme.
I don't know how to engage with people like you. I don't know if you are legitimately mentally challenged. If you actually have 75 IQ, if you need mom and dad to help you get ready, or if you've got a state provided caretaker to help you get ready in the morning. I don't know if you're able to clean yourself properly after you go to the bathroom, or if there's a special facility that people like you go to where somebody has to okay you leaving the room so you don't smell like shit every time you take a dump because you're too stupid to wipe your own ass. I don't know what to say to you.
This is how I feel about every fucking conservative.
Would it be moral for them to disavow?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
So yeah. I understand the position of that. I understand emotionally why that feels like a good thing, but I think that emotion is.
Oh my god! You know what's also unhinged? Is that people for example, some people advocate for treating them with kids gloves, right? Let's just say they're not some kind of family member, okay? They're actually some person, okay? Treat them with kids gloves, whatever, okay? Well, you're saying that I as a person perceive them as a drooling, half-stroked out, brain-dead, remedial vegetable who is chromosomally talented. And you're telling me that I have to treat them with kids gloves? Bitch, they just woke up from a coma? I'm about to send them back into a coma, okay? Pause. In Minecraft.
On a bedrock idea that it's going to be reciprocated. And if it's not ever reciprocated, now for people like me, whether it is, well, I guess maybe I might be more at risk, I don't know. But for more vulnerable people in society, in terms of who's subject to conservative policy or maybe wider violence, depending on how you view ICE or whatever, I feel like you're throwing all those people under the bus when conservatives are able to just energize their side, ratchet up the violence, constantly scream into the microphones, we need a civil war and all this other stuff, and then on the left you just keep disavow. What's the point of that?
As a response, I think people are calling for civil war now because of the political assassination of someone as high profile as Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, but Biden, Obama,
world wars were started for that exact same reason. So that's not
Biden, Obama, no world war started yet because the podcast got killed. Okay, but Biden, Obama, all these people,
political
all
assassination.
these people,
and they tried to assassinate President Trump, which would have been a parallel.
When you say they, you mean Republicans?
No, I don't mean Republicans.
Who's they?
Chromoscoma. Shut up.
Republican shooter.
Okay,
That's
fine.
funny.
Republican shooter.
Okay,
but still, that would start a. Wars were started for the exact same reason.
What happened after the Republican white kid shooter shot Trump? What did Biden do? I think he increased the Secret Service. He said everybody needs to calm down. He said we should never kill each other for political violence. He said all the right things.
Did he actually say all of that? If that's true that he said all of that, oh my god, I can't believe that skirted past us, dude. So he managed to. He was actually doing the fucking temperature down shit. Fuck me, dude. Actually, just fuck me in the ass. Holy shit, unironically.
Sure.
When this guy shot Charlie Kirk, before Charlie Kirk was even dead, Trump was like on media blaming trans, Tifa, all sorts of crazy stuff. We had no evidence of anything. Isn't that like super deeply immoral that the president and the vice president would come out and start making statements about the shooter before we even knew anything about the shooting?
I would say they probably think they knew more about the shooting. Like I don't know.
What is that
what
argument?
This,
What is that?
what
Hold
this
on.
argument's about.
No.
I don't know
What?
this
Okay.
argument's
Hold on.
about.
Like they probably thought they knew more. Like what?
No, that matters. Like just like it matters. Like if Trumpers believe the election was stolen.
Me too.
It's the same thing. Like
Yeah, but I believe because Trump told them that. Trump doesn't believe the election was stolen. He just
Why does that
lied.
matter?
What? Trump didn't know if the shooter was left-leaning or not. He just said that because it fits his agenda. That's not acceptable for a leader to say, to just start making up theories about the shooting before we even know anything about the shooter, before they even knew anything about the shooter.
It would still matter, like whether they believe that it actually happened or if they didn't. That would still
Well,
matter
I would
more.
agree if they believe it actually happened. It makes it even worse because now they're delusional because they have no reason to even believe it. They don't even have any evidence.
I just don't know where this path of argumentation.
Don't stop trying to preempt it. Just like live in the moment and be a human being.
No, I don't
It's
know.
bad when a
I don't know
president.
what your argumentation is.
My argumentation is that the president should have been guessing the motives and the ideology of the shooter before we knew anything at all about the shooter. That's like a deeply immoral, horrible, terrible thing to do.
Before we do anything, yeah. I'll
Before we know anything.
like you just said, if he doesn't know anything, we shouldn't do anything.
He shouldn't make any
And
statements
I
about the
agree
idea,
with that.
right? And then also, like, I don't think. So here's another issue. You talk about BLM. Okay, so prior to BLM, like, if we look at like the Charlottesville thing, Donald Trump was asked if he would fucking disavow, neo-Nazis or disavow the Proud Boys, and Donald Trump's statement was like, stand back and stand by.
That was. I thought that was for J6.
Nice and
Stand
close
back
to the
and
mic
stand by.
there.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was for J6.
Well, they showed up on J6, but no, I think it was in.
No, but the Charlottesville instance that you just brought up.
Yeah.
He was saying that's a soundbite, and then after that, you know what he said? He said, "I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis."
Well, but it was a neo-Nazi march, right? Oh, you're talking.
Yeah.
Like, so he also said
I
he
thought
said the thing
you
about how
did
there were good people on both
Charlottesville
sides.
and then
or
went to
whatever.
January 6th, though.
Well, no.
You went-
Hold on. He said that there were the people, the good people on both sides argument or whatever. But I think it was like preceding, or I'm sorry, I think it was pretty soon after Charlottesville. He was asked about like denouncing like the Proud Boys and stuff. I think that happened pretty soon after Charlottesville, right? And the statement that he said, it was unhinged. He said, "Stand back and stand by." What the fuck?
Yeah. And that sounds a lot like your coded incitement of violence recently. That sounds a lot like it.
So when Donald Trump said that on Parler, you literally have like the leaders of the Proud Boys. You've got Stuart Rhodes, you've got Enrique Tarrio saying like, "Heard loud and clear, sir." And then these guys like made top secret signal groups and they organized like huge fucking groups of people to go and break into the Capitol on January 6th. Like that's like a direct. And then Trump pardoned all those people.
But
after.
January 6th was after BLM Antifa. That's my whole point.
But those guys heard their orders loud and clear from Donald Trump's statements before the BLM Antifa stuff.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Destiny is using. I'm not sure. Listen, this could come from himself, okay? Like, technically, because it's a fucking information Ouroboros, right? But, like, this. Listen, I'm willing to grant this, okay? I'm willing to grant that Destiny is using it himself, but I just want to say, for the record, okay, I DM'd Destiny this last night, okay, after the debate. Where is it? He responded to this one. I said, there's a 1-to-1 exact timeline where Trump said, "Stand back and stand by," which Proud Boys did until January 6th. You can definitely argue Trump instigated the Proud Boys to do stochastic terrorism January 6th by doing so. Yeah, and then he responded that, yeah, I walked through that exact J6 thing before. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, no, it's like, I just want to say that, okay? You're not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy. That's why I said that it could entirely be him, okay? That's why I said that. That's why I said that in the first place. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to ban you. Okay, people who say, "Oh, you're not the guy, you're not that guy." Bro, I know. I'm not that guy, okay? I'm not saying I'm that guy, okay? Jesus. Okay.
Stand back and
I don't know
stand
if you
by.
can prove they're getting it from Charlottesville.
They said it. They said, "Heard you loud and clear, Trump. Standing back and standing by." It was on Parler that they posted this.
Why would you come
not
here
on
just to say, like, why the fuck would DGers come here only to say, like, stupid fucking shit, okay, in the fucking chat and say nothing else other than stupid fucking shit? Go away. I don't want you in my fucking audience. Go away. I would rather be a fucking one viewer Andy than have somebody like you in my audience.
Well, how am I supposed to? You think I'm on Parler? Is it an
I'm not saying you're on
expectation
Parler,
that
but
I
I'm
should be
saying
on
that, like,
Parler?
well, I mean, like, these were some of the most important, I would say, court cases in U.S. history because all these people were convicted of seditious conspiracy. But then, like, so these guys all made big groups of people to break into the Capitol. They were the first ones in on January 6th. And then after they were convicted and a jury of their peers and everything else of seditious treason or seditious conspiracy, afterwards, when Trump was reelected, he pardoned everybody, including these guys. How is this not like a clear signal to, like, do the violence? Like, I'm calling for it, you did it, and now I'm, like, pardoning you for getting convicted for doing the violence that I called for. Like, this is the most...
That was hard to trace. I'm just going to be honest.
Okay, Donald Trump said, "Proud Boys, stand back and stand by," but let me tell you about Antifa.
Yeah.
And then Proud Boys tweeted out, they said, "Heard you, Donald Trump, loud and clear." Then they made a plan to take over over the Capitol on January 6th. Then they followed through with the plan on January 6th. Then they got arrested and convicted of seditious conspiracy related to January 6th. And then Donald Trump pardoned all of them related to January 6th.
I think stand back and stand by is less coded incitement and violence than what you have said about Trump's assassination attempts and Charlie Kirk's assassination attempts.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. But what exactly is the magnitude, right? Because here's the thing. You can argue that, and I wouldn't even agree with that. I think that's ridiculous. I actually personally think that's ridiculous. Just mainly because I just want to say that Trump has made way more crazier threats of violence, whether by him or by his cabinet, okay? Because I view them all as an extension of Trump. That includes Stephen Miller, okay? How is what Destiny has said worse than what Stephen Miller have said? Is my question. Stephen Miller's, okay, fuck, I need to bring up like the fucking Stephen Miller speech again because we keep forgetting like how insane that was.
But
hold on.
Like you can
I think Stephen should just start quoting Stephen Miller directly. I think Stephen should just say like, okay, well, Stephen Miller said this, right? Yeah.
Look at my community and you can look at the differences in like how people are functioning. Like I've said like a million times that there should be no political violence in this country. It's a really bad thing. You can't find Trump making these statements. Everybody in my community knows that like I don't support political violence and I think like political violence is horrible. It means that, like the system is completely failed. Like everything is like going to shit. That civil war is not a good thing. That none of us should want that world of reality. And then I think
money.
Yo, Katz, thank you so much for the $5. Just a reminder that Stephen Miller's wife is currently being pounded and breeded and bred by Elon Musk, okay? This is why he gets his Hitler complex, okay? It's because he's using it to make up for his insecurity of his wife getting pounded, fucking bred by Elon Musk's fucking lab-born sperm, okay? All right, anyway, okay.
When I see Erica and her strength and her courage awakened, they cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy. And we will devote the rest of our lives to finishing the causes for which Charlie gave his last measure of devotion. You cannot defeat us. You cannot slow us. You cannot stop us. You cannot deter us. We will carry Charlie and Erica in our heart every single day and fight that much harder because of what you did to us. You have no idea. The dragon you have awakened, you have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization, to save the West, to save this republic. Because our children are strong, and our grandchildren will be strong, and our children's children's children will be strong. And what will you leave behind? Nothing, nothing. To our enemies, you have nothing to give, you have nothing to offer, you have nothing to share.
Okay, just a reminder, okay? This is all to make up his wife getting pounded. Okay.
Both sides shouldn't do it. Remember, you're looking at the fucking Rittenhouse Defender guy, right? That's like one of the huge things that I cut like a ton of my like community off over, right?
No, and I respect that.
Sure, but I'm just saying that, like my position on violence.
While he was up on that stage, his wife is like fucking going like, and then Elon's going like, X. He's like constantly like he's so obsessed with the letter X that every single time he humps, like he's like making the X symbol. Okay, that's what's going on.
This is pretty much like it's a self-defense thing. Like, but otherwise, fuck up. Like, I'm not here supporting rioters ever. I think it's cringe as fuck. Like, I had a debate on Sam Cedar over the fucking shoot. I don't even remember the guy.
It's your right to do it. I'm just saying I don't think that I think that's a moral hypocrisy from your point, from your standpoint.
What's like the worst thing you think I've said?
I think one of the worst things is probably that
that was probably the worst thing I've ever
said. The bullet
said.
to miss Trump, or speaking on Corey Comptoir's death, that you F around and find out when you go to these rallies, and that what did you expect? I think you said something along the lines of like, what did you expect
Sure.
coming to those?
So on the first- so on the-
hold on,
Elon's
but
penis doesn't work. He tries to make it work
What did
anyway,
you
okay?
expect? That implies that you should expect that. And that's like way more coded incitement of violence.
When
than-
you say, okay, let's follow through on that last
shit.
bit. What do you think I mean when I say that? You should expect that.
I don't know. Like, you're on the other side of the aisle.
No,
from
you
me,
have
so
to know.
I have
You're,
no
you're
idea.
giving me a lot of, you're like.
No, I don't have to know. I don't have to
Well, no,
know.
but
what you
you're
mean. My whole
claiming to
point
know.
is
What do
your
you- no, what do you
statements.
think- what do you think- what do you
I'm
think it
judging
means?
your statements. I'm
Yeah,
judging
sure.
your statements.
But what do you think? What do you
This is
think it
my
means?
first time I've ever talked to you. How am I supposed to know that?
Well, you obviously have idea. You just said that those statements were worse than Donald Trump's statements, where I can draw a clear line from him motivating
The
people, committing
statements
crimes, and then
alone,
pardoning
not
them.
off of what I think you meant by it.
But words are meaningless. They're just sounds. Ooga booga, right? Like they have to
They're
mean
not
something.
meaningless. They're not meaningless.
No, no. What,
I'll
hold
try
on,
to
no,
make
stop.
a
Where
I
this
don't
is
know why
going.
that made me
If you say
giggle, I'm
words,
sorry.
there has to be a meaning ascribed to the words. Otherwise, we're just uttering sounds. If I say random things to you, if I utter speech that means nothing to you, then it doesn't mean anything. You are ascribing a meaning to things I'm saying. So you said earlier that when I said, what do you expect? That you said that was like a thinly veiled call for violence or whatever. Is that if you follow through for however much of my content
The
you watched?
implication. Yeah, no, I think that's a direct implication that what do you expect?
Where I giggle
you
too?
should
Oh,
expect
okay.
violence if you attend these rallies.
And then why?
I'm
What
a
was the
child.
motivation?
I'm
What was
sorry.
what was my conversation
I don't
about
know
this?
if that part matters. I don't know if the motivation matters. Why does
So
the
wait,
motivation matter?
because when I speak, I say more. I didn't just like go live and then say 2 sentences and then turn my stream off.
You're asking me to interpret a whole lot here. I'll try to find a concession if you want to try to
Oh
find a
my
concession
God.
because I don't understand.
Do you
what
live your life in like 2-sentence quotes? Is that how you view every single?
No, I just trace the statements. I trace the statements people make. That's
What
way
does
be-
tracing the statement mean?
Like the objective meaning of the statement, which sometimes there's not going to be an object, and that's where you can throw in
Okay,
coded language.
hold on.
but
I think
like-
all of you guys
Huh?
should. I think everyone in here should eat dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you leave this like thing saying, "Wow, Destiny's audience is a bunch of dog eaters, and Destiny wants all of his audience to eat dogs"? Because I said that.
say that last part.
That Destiny wants his audience to eat dogs. That they're all probably dog eaters. Destiny encourages dog eating.
No, probably not.
Oh my
Okay.
God, I'm
Because
so
it's like not.
goofy.
I don't talk about this a lot. I'm not a big. Shut up. I'm not a big like
No,
dog
yeah.
cuisine person,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So I think that like
I'll make a concession.
I would just like to throw my 2 cents in about this dog eating thing.
If you want to make a concession, I just don't know.
What is my concession? I'm not gonna make a concession that I want violence.
I'll make a concession, but it seems like we're at a standstill. Like I don't understand. Like I'm submitting a paradigm.
Well, sure,
that's
here,
kinda like-
I can explain, and you can tell me if this sounds like it tracks with every other thing
Yeah.
I've said, right? Is that if you engage in a political violence where every single thing you talk about is the end of the world, every single party is trying to invade you and destroy you and kill you and take over everything and mutilate your children's genitals and leave the border open intentionally to flood you with illegal immigrants, and then all the words and verbiage you use is like this, like the holy war, the fight, we got to take over the enemy, they stole your government from you, right? If those are the
And
things.
what has resulted from that? And I think my point is.
Wait. Like, I'm just saying that when you say all of these things, right? If somebody shows up at like rallies and starts shooting, that's not that surprising to me, right? Like I'd be like, okay, yeah, like I mean, this kind of makes sense. This tracks, right? This is like the verbiage and everything is like this is the end of the fucking world. Everything is coming to kill you and take your country and destroy everything. Like, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me if that event had some kind of political violence involved.
But what if Charlie Kirk was preaching that, and then someone kills Charlie Kirk? That wouldn't make much sense then.
What do you mean?
That wouldn't make much
Huh?
sense. Like you just described. Lost my train of thought. What was your last
That,
point?
that if you're like in a
Bro, this guy's brain's cooked. Like he knows he doesn't look good right now. Like he knows he doesn't look good right now. But his brain is cooked. Like he's like grasping for straws right now. Like this is the motherfucker that probably took like 2 pills of propranolol, like fucking 3 pills of bromide, not 3 pills of bromide. Fuck, like he took like fucking 3 pills of Adderall, 2 pills of propranolol, 5 pills of bromine, and he popped like he popped a few vitamin gummies, okay, right before this. Holy shit!
side is constantly preaching political violence and turning up the temperature as high as you can, it wouldn't surprise me that they're like, yeah. I mean, I would say that kind of flows outward to like a lot of different.
And then there's the part of like, what if most of that, the immigration topic that you see as incitement raising the temperature, what if that's like a real issue?
There is no real issue that requires you to label a detainment facility alligator Alcatraz.
I agree
That's
with
just
that.
cruelty.
I'll agree with that.
Sure.
I think that was bad form, so that's the concession I'll make. I guess.
But it's not just. It gets,
Wait, hold on. If you concede that is bad, like, don't you think that this is an indication that your side is like the bad guys? It's kind of like God. It's like that skit. Wait, am I even allowed to show that skit? Like, is it copyrighted? Does anybody know whether or not that skit is copyrighted? Like, it's literally that skit, right? Are we the baddies?
Right, let's see. We should be able to hold them at this point here, at least for a few hours.
And why skulls, though?
What?
Why skulls?
Well, maybe they're the skulls of our enemies.
Maybe. But is that how it comes across? I mean, it doesn't say next to the skull, you know, yeah, we killed him, but trust us, this guy was horrid.
Well, no, but
I mean, what do skulls make you think of? Death, cannibals, beheading, pirates.
pirates are fun.
I didn't say we weren't fun, but fun or not, pirates are still the baddies. I just can't think of anything good about a skull.
What about pure Aryan skull shape?
Even that is more usually depicted with the skin still on. Whereas the Allies...
No, you haven't been listening to Allied propaganda. Of course they're going to say we're the bad guys.
But they didn't get to design our uniforms. And their symbols are all, you know, quite nice. Stars, stripes, lions, sickles.
What's so good about a sickle?
Well, nothing. And obviously, if there's one thing we've learnt in the last 1,000 miles of retreat, is that Russian agriculture is in dire need of mechanization.
Tell me about it.
But you've got to say, it's better than a skull. I mean, I really can't think of anything worse as a symbol than a skull.
A rat's anus?
Yeah, and if we were fighting an army marching under the banner of a rat's anus, I'd probably be a lot less worried, Hans.
Okay. So...
Dude. I'm sorry, that stretched on for way too long. I think part of good comedy is like 100% delivery. I think that delivery is perfect. I think that the way that it was delivered is perfect. Yeah, part of good, like, I would like even say 75% of good comedy is delivery. I think it's the way that you like talk about it, right? Yeah. Simple guy too.
It's an indication for what the other person like what's going on in their head, right? So if the other
Wasn't
person,
it DeSantis that did like
every single Republican laughed at it and thought it was
All right.
epic and base and
No,
sold merchandise
well-
for it and thought it was cool and Christy Nome Divinity
not
Knowles about
comedy,
it.
but
What?
Oh no, it's Light's autism. Oh no, it's Light's autism. It's Light's autism. Oh no. Okay.
So not me, but I'll concede that alligator Alcatraz is an example. That's an example.
Sure. So,
But
I mean,
like,
like,
Best example of how important delivery is?
Stole one of my jokes. An influencer stole one of my jokes.
I wanted some toppy sloppy.
Of course.
She said no, tired.
Yeah.
She goes, but you could just fuck my face. Fuck, didn't you tell me this months ago?
Sorry, we can't make the drive down to Miami. We'll have to take my private jet.
That sounds awfully familiar. She said, I'm too tired to suck your dick, but if you want, you can fuck my mouth. And I was like, how long has this been an option for? That's like saying, hey, sorry your flight's delayed. If you want, you can take this private jet. You're shirtless on a yacht in half your pictures. Like, do you not have enough? You need my jokes too? Now I messaged these guys because, you know, they're clearly fans. Instead of just, you know, wiping the makeup off their face and apologizing, they just...
Okay. Jokes being stolen is cringe stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. I like, dude, listen.
Immigration topic, it was what you cited as incitement of violence. I'd say that's actually a real issue, which was going to be my second
things can be a
point.
real issue,
Yeah.
but also you could talk about them in a hateful or insightful
But you
way.
can't just say, oh, that's incitement of violence.
I
if it's
didn't
a
just
real
say, oh,
issue.
that's not. I just gave you a specific concrete example of a way that it's kind of insightful, the way that Republicans deal with it. When they say things
Okay,
like,
so I think the alligator Alcatraz example is valid. I don't think the immigration topic is a whole.
Sorry.
I've never said the immigration topic as a whole,
I
but
thought
Republicans
that's
don't
how
talk.
you started. That's how you started it. You clarified and you said alligator Alcatraz, and that's what I conceded to.
I don't think I ever said in general immigration. I feel like I've listed pretty specific things, but
Yeah, it
I'm
was
just
jumbled in there. It's hard to remember everything that you say, but it was jumbled in there. I do
Okay,
know that.
let's assume that it was jumbled in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Republicans and Donald Trump speak about everything in an existential, hateful way. So when violence like results from that, that's just not that surprising to me. I make the same criticism sometimes of Democrat rhetoric. I don't think they've gone to the point where they're inciting violence. But when they say things like, oh, like, billionaires own everything, the donor clusters everything, I say, like, well, when you leave people no option but to not participate in elections and then to do violence, like that's what people are going to do. That's not surprising.
True.
Which one? Participate in elections or do violence? Which one are we leaving them no option to do?
Both.
He's
I think
right.
That's what happens when you tell people that you can't participate in elections.
Those are two different things, though, don't you think?
One leads to the next. If people feel like their vote is irrelevant or their political system isn't responsive to them, then the next step is violence. That's what happens, right? How do dictatorships end?
Well,
Usually
you
with a
can't
coup.
say that happens, but that's not justified. That's not morally justified.
Whether it is or isn't.
Wait, hold on. Is it not morally justified? This is such a weird fucking question to me. Like, don't you think that maybe like people can actually morally justify it? Like, this is such a strange line of thought, right? Because the thing is that actual evil is really rare, okay? Like you recognizing that something is evil, but you go out and do it anyway, right? Like, for example, we would say that serial killers who kill for the fun of it is evil, even though they probably recognize most likely that it is evil. Like, for example, the Zodiac, right? When the Zodiac writes about like why he killed them and he gives like indications of how bad it is, like, to me at the very least, like, that kind of shows that, okay, maybe you are actually truly evil, you know? You don't, like, the only thing you decided that it would be more worth it to kill these people so that they could potentially be a part of your afterlife, right? To do the things that you want. I don't know. That to me is evil. However, chances are the people who are raiding the Capitol think that they're making a morally good decision, right? Because they think that, okay, because the vote is invalidated, why shouldn't I go out and do something like this, right? Why shouldn't I do something crazy to the Capitol building, right? If all is lost, if our democracy is lost, why wouldn't we do something like this, right? So from their perspective, it's morally good. From our perspective, it's bad because they're going off of false information, right? But yeah.
It's not what we're at right now. I'm just saying that is what will happen.
This is a moral conversation. I'm critiquing your morality. This is a conversation about morality, not like efficacy. I don't know.
Well, no, but I'm saying, well, sure, but as part of this, what I'm saying is there are certain things that you can tell people that will lead to predictable things. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yep. And what are those things? Yeah.
So, like, if I were to tell a group of people that there's some guy coming to kill you, and I say this over and over and over and over again, and eventually these people,
from my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Find this guy in an alley and they beat him up and kill him or whatever.
You know, oh my God, I have the meme too. Dude, when you bring up something, I have the meme for it, okay? I have the meme for it. Hold on. I have the meme for it.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Anakin, I find your assertion that the Jedi Order are ontologically evil to be beneath you. You well know the axioms of the Jedi Order are to help others and serve the will of the Force, which I would argue places the Order in excellent standing from a deontological perspective, as, assuming one takes as their own personal axioms that minimizing harm to sentient life throughout the galaxy is a moral good, then it is obvious the Jedi Order is, itself, good. Similarly, if we examine the Jedi Order through the lens of virtue ethics, again, we are forced to come away with a positive impression. The Jedi, after all, are notorious for acting selflessly, promoting the well-being of others even at the expense of their own. What could be more virtuous? Considering this, unless promoting the suffering of sentient beings is one of
I like how in this context, Anakin did not expect like a full fucking yapping session.
your axioms, or else you think of killing Jedi as an innate good, which as an aside would make for an irrational worldview leading to a sad, pathetic life where you hunt Jedi and do little else, then I must assume your objection to the Jedi philosophy comes on utilitarian grounds.
Oh
Therefore,
my God.
Anakin, I will analyze the Jedi Order utilizing utilitarian ethics, and then compare it to the Sith Code, to see whether your assertion the Jedi are evil is validated. The only possible epistemic justifications one could make to support the aforementioned argument are that the Jedi Order are corrupt to the extent that they are causing the suffering of millions or more sentient beings, or otherwise misunderstanding the will of the Force to such a degree that it is causing suffering on such a scale. Further, one could argue that the will of the Force is itself evil, and needs to therefore be opposed, hence why the Sith choose to bend it to their will. Given that you've actively murdered children, it necessarily follows you consider the Jedi to be so evil.
What I love about this meme, what I love about that meme, sorry, I'm definitely going to get copyright struck now, but what I like about that meme is that, like, it is coherent. It is so well put. Like, people think, and I blame Disney as well, right, for writing the Jedi and the Sith like this. Like, oh yeah, Jedi are so obviously the good guys. The Sith are so obviously the bad guys. I blame Disney for writing it like that. However, I will, and Lucasfilms as well. But the thing is is that for a contrarian out there to say, well, I mean, are the Jedi actually good? Are the Jedi actually good? What if they're actually the evil ones? What if they're truly the evil ones, right? On what grounds? like literally on what grounds? The same thing goes for the Democrats, right? From my point of view, the Democrats are evil. Okay, well, let's see. The Democrats are virtuous, okay? They typically go out of their way to advocate for the greater good, okay, whatever. Okay, so that means you must oppose on utilitarian grounds. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, that's pretty obvious. That I mean, I told these people forever that they're gonna, get killed by this guy. It's not that surprising that they're gonna kill the dude. Whether or not it's more for them to do or not is a separate conversation. But that's not that surprising. People have to feel like they have options. If you take all the options away, then violence becomes the only option.
I don't think they've taken all the options away.
Who?
I think Republicans or whoever you think are taking all the options
away.
away.
I agree with that. I agree they haven't taken all the options away. That's why I tell people stop being doomer and you should vote and everything and all this stuff. But Republicans, Donald Trump especially, says all the options are gone. That's why on that January 6th speech he said you have to fight like hell or you're going to lose your country.
Meow.
They're stealing the election from you. They're stealing all the votes are rigged. All the mail-in ballots are rigged. They're taking everything. They're rigging everything. The deep state is against you. They're cutting off your children's dicks. The libraries have too many gay books. Like every single thing. There's an invasion right now from the whole Democratic Party's Antifa and their domestic terrorist organization. Everything is like an existential fucking end of the world shit. Like we can't find any Biden rhetoric that matches any of this.
All right, Spencer, final thoughts.
Okay, wait, we'll let him go. Before we move on to the next Destiny guy, who's like, oh, let's talk about vegan or whatever.
But I think he actually believes that it was stolen. That's the whole thing. Is like, it's not necessary if he believes.
No, he doesn't even believe that. I'm pretty sure there's evidence where I think that Trump has slipped up before, where he has literally said that he does not believe. He believes that he has lost the election. I'm pretty damn sure he said that at some point, right? I'm pretty damn sure that Trump at some point has admitted, okay, caught in 4K HD, that he believes that he lost the election. So he doesn't even believe it. His followers believe something that Trump himself doesn't even believe. Hold on, because I can find it. By the way, isn't that the meaning of true evil? When you believe that you've lost this legitimately, but you're willing to forsake the nation in order to say that you've won? Like, is that not evil? I feel like that is truly evil, right? Trump admits he lost 2020 election. Like, I feel like that is like the definition of evil. What is this?
You have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short. Are you now? Are you now?
Why is it? You don't have to do this fucking warbling. Stop doing this. Stop doing this warbling effect. Okay, wait, hold on. This one's better, maybe.
Donald Trump is seemingly acknowledging his loss in the 2020 presidential election. During a Sunday interview, Trump said his own advisors told him he lost the election, but he made the decision to continue a push to overturn the results. The former president also said he chose to ignore those advisors, instead turning to others who were willing to help him try to stay in office. Now, the interview comes after Trump's indictment on accusations he tried to overturn the 2020 election. Special counsel Jack Smith's case rests on the argument that Trump knew he lost. Trump pleaded not guilty, insisting that he has done nothing wrong.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. I'm so glad I remembered this.
That he's not just raising the rhetoric.
He is. You can still believe a thing and raise the rhetoric.
Okay, yeah.
That's why he's doing it, but that's even scarier because now he's justified in that, right?
But what if he was justified in it? Like,
then if he was justified in it, then I think he'd be justified, right?
What if the election was rigged in a certain way? I'm not saying the vote.
I'm sure conservatives have never heard that, but that's where you're wrong. Because do you know where that was from? That was from the debate between Trump and Kamala Harris. I believe like that clip where the moderator was asking him, that was from Trump versus Kamala Harris. So they have heard it, okay? All of them heard it. They just poof, poof. Where did it go? Selective memory deletion. Caching.
Self were fake, but like...
Oh, I was being sarcastic for the meme? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, but you have a fair point, right? They've heard it. They 100% heard it because it was during the debate, right?
What if it was
I agree with you. Yes, I agree. I agree with everything you say. Yeah,
then
but it wasn't.
That would be pretty bad.
It would be.
We could have that conversation about whether it was or it wasn't, but that would still be very bad.
It would be bad, but it wasn't rigged. There was no evidence
that
of
would
it.
Be justified in his response.
I understand.
That would be justified in his response.
But if you were having a hallucination and I was coming at you with a knife and then you killed me for it, right? Sure, but you're hallucinating, right? This is detached from reality. So whether or not something might be personally justified to you because you're delusional or hallucinating is different than, like, is this an objective truth in the world that you have good responses to? Donald Trump didn't.
Do you think he was hallucinating?
They don't want to hear.
No, he was lying.
Lying.
Yes.
Okay, so you think he doesn't believe the election was rigged?
Correct.
And he's just saying that.
Correct.
Okay.
Because every single person that he tasked with doing an investigation, all of them told him it wasn't rigged. Every single court case, essentially, but one in like Pennsylvania, they lost. There was no evidence ever that.
Whoa, hold on. Destiny doesn't even need to say this. Trump said it himself. Like, he doesn't even need to say this, right? Yeah. I mean, obviously, Destiny knows a lot more than I do, about this entire thing. But like, I'm just saying, you don't even need to point at that far, you know what I mean?
Show that the election was
what I'm
rigged.
talking about?
He had nothing compelling to ever believe any of it, but he still told people it was rigged, and he brought him there to protest the outcome of the election.
All kidding aside, he is intractable. He conveniently has no knowledge of Trump shit or anything. Republicans say or do, it's all memes. He's a jack off. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah,
all right, well, that's a whole nother conversation.
This guy sucks.
It always is. Yeah.
Like whether or not he believed that it was rigged, that is a whole nother conversation.
Well, if he's believing things with no evidence, isn't that pretty problematic?
With no evidence, not necessarily, because you could have an administration.
Okay,
that,
I'll agree with anything you're saying.
My
I just want to understand the problem that you just presented with. Okay, so this is
actually so shameless to me. Like, this is insane levels of shamelessness. Like, this is crazy.
This is the uncomfortable or weird position you put me in. That's why I have the position I have when people ask me to disavow violence. What you laid out is.
Sorry, my Cali Valley girl accent just came out. I'm sorry. Okay. Don't mean for it to come out on stream. All right.
All the justification needed for a violent insurrection to overthrow the government. If you genuinely believe
that's the whole point. Is I'm saying.
But hold on. Wait. I can't do anything. I can't do anything to dissuade you. I can disavow a million times. It's not going to change your mind on whether or not the election was stolen. It's not going to change your mind on whether the deep state is rigging everything. So unless you guys are willing to come over across the aisle and say, okay, fine, political violence is bad when everybody does it, there's no point in me saying it. All I'm doing is subjecting myself.
There's no point in doing that. There's no point in doing.
But there is because
Democrats
don't want political violence in this country.
We don't know that. How are we supposed to know that?
Because they disavow it over and over and over and over and over again.
You have the whole other side of, okay, we've analyzed this to death, the rights rhetoric. How about the left's rhetoric? How about the left's rhetoric?
We never talk about the rights rhetoric. What are you talking about?
All right, well, this is just an example where we live in two different realities.
We talk about the rights rhetoric so little that you don't even know a lot of the major things I'm bringing up. What do you mean?
Says him.
No, I knew a lot of the major points.
You didn't know that Donald Trump apparently didn't know the Minnesota... What?
You brought up fringe cases.
The Hortman thing is a fringe case?
No, I brought up the Hortman thing.
The Antifa shooter, the Trans-Tifa church shooter? I don't think that's a fringe case.
Okay, maybe that one, but that...
The Charlottesville thing? I don't think that was fringe. This was debated a lot.
No, I knew about Charlottesville.
Okay, January 6th is not... I don't think I brought up any fringe cases.
No, I agreed with most of those. I knew about most of those.
Okay.
The only one I didn't know about was the trans church shoot. I remember hearing about it, but I don't know the details of the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the ones that they've like harped on for. That's why they said that the Charlie Kirk shooter was trans.
Well, yeah, I don't care about a lot of the trans rhetoric, to be fair, but like.
I know that's great, and you know what, I'm right there with you because I'm a cis-bi, I guess, whatever, fucking male. So I don't give a fuck about it either. But for people in the country who are having the rights stripped from them, right? It's kind of probably shitty.
What rights are they?
Well, the rolling back of like trans healthcare in a lot of places, the lack of guidance now from the CDC or the NIH relating to like hormones for anybody. In some states, I think they just made it like fully illegal.
Those could be valid issues of like.
Al, don't remind me, Jesus.
Of like children receiving hormone therapy. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So those could be valid criticisms.
Yeah, they could be, but I can't hear the valid criticisms when it's just veiled with hateful, vitriolic speech.
Okay, I don't know what to say to that. Well,
don't be hateful and vitriolic, and maybe people take it more seriously.
Well, I could point to leftists being hateful and vitriolic.
On Twitter. Do you see the difference?
Okay.
Like the elected leaders, these are the people that
I'm the one who thinks that online media is the most influential.
Yeah, but you think that because you consume right-wing media that shows you left-wing TikTokers. Like your impression of the left comes from what the right wing tells you the left says.
No, I see a lot of the left-wing posts too, and I'm like, wow.
That the right wing is showing you. Like you, like if
they still made the statements though.
But people on Twitter though. But there were no lawmakers, no leaders, nobody that was like, oh cool, Charlie Kirk died, right? Every single large figure on the left condemned it.
And I'm saying that doesn't matter, and it doesn't do anything. That doesn't.
What?
That doesn't matter, and it doesn't do anything.
I'm just saying, I've never. Heard of a radical shooter that killed somebody and they open his diary and this guy's like, Joseph Biden, this is the guy that fucking radicalized me. I'm gonna go fucking get these dudes. It's always somebody more radical than that.
You were talking about the politicians just now.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I haven't seen the left-wing online media influencers, not just denounce the Kirk assassination, because that's just a baseline, that's just basic, but take accountability. I think we're really talking about take accountability or responsibility for. We should at least look to your rhetoric first. If it came from
I would
your
agree
side.
with that, but you guys don't look at the center-left rhetoric. The center-left rhetoric is generally pretty chill. You look at people like fucking Hasan, and then you paint all of us with that brush. That dude wants violence. That's why he flew to fucking France like a pussy to go and have his little clout pussy, hounding farm or whatever over there while he does his little race shit, right? Yeah, those people do want that. But like, again, nobody's getting radicalized by fucking Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, right? You acknowledge that, right? Nobody's getting radicalized by these two political leaders, right?
Yeah.
There are people that are getting radicalized by like people on the in the right ecosphere that's like directly tied into Trump. Like you will never find on the left a Stephen Miller in the White House. That will never happen. You'll never find on the left a Jared Kushner, a family member who's managing massive.
What do you mean like a Stephen Miller?
There is no family member from the Obamas, from the Clintons, from the Bidens who occupied such huge positions in the White House that were negotiating deals in the Middle East, right? You agree with that, or anywhere in the world, right?
Are you talking about Stephen Miller?
No, I'm talking about Jared Kushner right now. Sorry.
Okay.
So Kushner was Trump's son-in-law, who was like the architect of the Abraham Accords.
Nepotism. That's nepotism. But you could find someone like Stephen Miller, not saying like, oh, he's as intense, like borderline.
In the
fascist,
White House, though.
Borderline fascist.
In the White
but
House.
it's just the right wing's equivalent of what we think is a Stephen Miller.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm just saying on the left.
Yeah.
Where in government?
Where
in government?
Wait. Yeah, who is equivalent to Stephen Miller in the fucking government? On the left, there is none. Okay, he has no excuse.
Well, I would name like some representative. This is off the top of my head, but like
some representative.
Like the most radical ones are fucking are AOC
like the
and
squad.
fucking Biden.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like the squad. I was gonna say the squad.
Yeah, but AOC and all these guys all condemn the fuck out of the Charlie Kirk shooting and everything anyway. These people are not like.
I'm saying that
they did.
That doesn't matter. They're the politicians.
So you think that if we were to take,
I'm criticizing the online media influencers who are in charge of their side's culture. That's what I'm criticizing.
I understand, but I'm saying that the right in charge of their culture just pushes violence, and I'm saying like even the government people do. Okay, I'm honest
Just
question.
give me something to concede.
Honest question. Okay, let's say that Trans Tifa shows up right now and they abduct both of us. Okay, and we're in a room and they tell us only one of us is coming out here live. Okay, and you get to make the big choice. And what the Trans Tifa super soldier, black trans woman tells you, he says, listen up. Okay, here's what you have to do. I'm giving you a basket. There's two choices. You have Stephen Miller and you have AOC and Ilhan Omar and Rashid Tlaib, and who's the fourth one? The squad. Who's the fourth one? Is it really? I never heard that name. Whatever. And Bernie Sanders. All five of them, okay? Yeah. You have all five of these people, okay? You have them in one basket. And then on the other side, you have Stephen Miller. Now, whichever one you choose, you have to go through and find the worst statements that they've made. And then your opponent, me, has to find the worst statements from who you don't choose. And whoever statements are worse survives. Do you think that you're going to find more like abhorrent, objectionable, crazy, vitriolic stuff from all of those people, the whole squad of Bernie Sanders, or am I going to find worse from Stephen Miller?
I would believe that, but that's because...
Oh my God, Stephen Miller's 1-0 speech is like magnitudes worse than all of these people's like fucking rhetoric combined, okay? Like his fucking Nazi rally speech, yeah, that's like worse than all of them combined. Yeah.
Worse is subjective. I would believe that. Worse is subjective, though.
Huh? Oh, so we're not common sense. Okay, so we're not the party of common sense. Okay, I got you. Just by the way, this is supposed to be the party of common sense. Okay? Like, this is the party of common sense. You don't know what's worse, common sense-wise? You don't know, if I were to use common sense, right? Stephen Miller is objectively worse using common sense. This is not subjective, it's objective, okay? It's objectively worse, okay?
How then, like...
Where's
I feel like conservatives become postmodernists when it comes time to like have an actual concrete...
chill.
Jesus.
Do not fed post.
I don't know.
Did you have any final thoughts
yeah,
there,
give me another final thought, yeah.
Spencer?
I'll see time. It's cool.
Are you sure? Yeah.
I mean, I have more topics, but I don't know.
Well,
how
we
much
might
longer.
bring you back,
Okay,
but we'll see.
okay.
We're going to give a shot to our other
my
debaters, but we
God.
might bring you back. So, everyone, Spencer! It's not easy to get up here. There you go. Thank you very much.
Wait.
Bathroom? You got to go that way. There's one bathroom. It's not.
Dude, he's oh my
super
God.
far. I can. Are you sure? No. Yeah. Go. We got time. We extended by an hour.
Weak. Bladder weak. Bladder weak. Okay? Have you tried not drinking so much coffee right before your event? That's what I thought. Okay? Drinking so much fucking stimulants? I'm kidding. Joking. Okay. All right. Joking. Okay. Who's this mask guy? Okay. All right.
For Asian guy.
Huh? Asian? One of my people?
How are you going to drink this? Oh, okay, whatever.
What? Dude. What's going on? What's happening right now? What is this?
I can't breathe.
Can't read?
No, never mind.
Oh, can't breathe. Oh, it was a George
So
Floyd
I just
joke.
wanted to start by taking the temperature
Oh my
down just a little bit
God.
because I've been a fan of Destiny for a really long time. We actually met 10 years ago at TwitchCon 2015. I have the
Nice and close to the mic there.
I have the badges for TwitchCon 15 right here where I met Destiny for the first time. And I followed you for a really long time, and you've been a very
Well, thank you so much.
You've been a very,
Oh,
you've been a very
cute.
good influence to me in terms of thinking and analytical thinking and being responsible and having the onus for providing evidence to your claims and all that stuff. And that's been really helpful through my education and my career and also my transition to conservative.
I was gonna say something. I was gonna say that people who always say that they are ancient fans of Destiny, okay? It's always the ancient fans. People who are ancient fans of Destiny are somehow the worst, okay? Like the absolute worst. Like the worst of the... It's not even close how bad like the ancient fans are, okay? They're like an ancient secret that you must not unearth, you know? That's how forbidden it is, right? It's like forbidden. You can't unearth the forbidden secrets of the ancient fans, okay? I like how he just begins with Kant. It's like, I was like, okay.
By analyzing all the facts and
I have cancer,
being
it's your
able to
fault. I'm
see
sorry.
the truth finally.
Okay.
And I think most of this audience is very left-leaning. Is that right?
Probably, yeah. It's my audience, so I imagine they would be, yeah.
Y'all need to find some Jesus. So
Try to speak as loud as you can. Thank you.
And I prepared a couple different topics. My first one was
I was a
abortion, but
StarCraft
seems
2
like,
fan? Okay, you're the only one,
it's not
okay?
really
You're the
your
only
favorite
one,
topic to
Cats.
talk about. And if you want to go
Good for
for
you.
something that's a little bit more
Wait, have
current,
you
we
joined
can
our
talk
server?
about
Join
the
server.
strikes on the Venezuelan boats, or we can talk about the current government shutdown and Trump's influence on those things.
Sure, we can start with the boat thing, yeah.
So you said that that's like a war crime, and he'll probably be tried in the Nuremberg trials and all.
Well,
that
no, he
stuff.
won't because we're not signatories to the ICC or whatever, but I mean, you shouldn't be killing foreign nationals without some kind of due process or at least some kind of authorization from Congress.
Yeah, but isn't it like, don't we have enough? Don't you believe that our government has enough intel to make those kind of decisions and be able to, even if there was going to be like legal repercussions, don't you think Trump would be like one of the best experts at avoiding those kinds of like legal loopholes? And he is the leader that's able to carry out these kinds of actions and be able to kind of gloss over and move on to the next thing. Do you think he excels?
I think when they said drain the swamp, I think they drained
I've
the
lost
cerebral
the
spinal
unit.
fluid. I don't believe there's a lot of intelligence right now in this government, and I don't know if I would trust the call or not. But it really doesn't matter if I would trust it or not. The reality is there has to be some kind of due process.
Wait, why the fuck? Okay, I'm sorry. Why the fuck was that like not? Why the fuck was that not volume like balanced? Jesus,
Right? He's not Batman. It's funny as I would
due
be
process
watching.
due process for like an operation in the international waters.
Yeah.
For foreigners.
There has to be like some kind of like military chain of command. There's a military operation, so right for Middle East operations, I believe we're still allowed to use the authorization for the use of military force or whatever. The AUMF that is still here from I think the Second Gulf War, but like for blowing up shit in the South, like around South America and stuff, and in our international waters, I'm not aware of any congressional authorization for those activities.
Well, we can just say that it's not an act of war, and this is a way to protect our border. And don't we have people like shooting people if they're coming over illegally across the border?
Yeah, but I think for that, if that is a thing that's happening, like you're witnessing the crime right there, and like I think you can take active measures to protect the border of your country. I think that's more defensible.
So
like if these boats were coming onto like U.S. shore and they were like blowing them up as they were coming onto shore, I'd be like, okay, like that's a lot more defensible for sure.
So then it just.
Wait, hold on. Is this somebody you know? Radiant? Like you probably know this person, right?
It comes down to like what are like legal basis
Oh my
and
God.
like what standards we follow, and if what we've been doing under previous administrations have not been very fruitful in terms of protecting our border, don't you think it's time to scale it up a notch and start attacking some people?
Even if it was time to scale it up.
Asians are not sending their best.
Yeah, they're rather conservative, to be honest. Like white collar, upper class conservative. Yeah. Thank you for the $2, Jolts. I appreciate it. Thank you.
This would not be the way to do it. There are legal processes to follow. I don't think that we just conveniently abandon the rule of law every single time Trump does something we think is epic and based. I don't think that blowing up 4 skiffs with, like 2 kilos of coke is saving the country, assuming they even had drugs on them, is like saving our country from some significant, intrusion of drugs. I don't think that that's probably making any difference at all.
But don't you think that would make those drug dealers less likely? They would be discouraged from doing those kind of.
Maybe, but even if they were, we can't do it by breaking the law to do it. Like we should have like rule of law.
Dude, this is such a crazy point. By the way, thank you for $2. But I just like the reason why this is such a crazy point is because threats of violence has never worked against cartels. When was the last time any kind of act of violence or threats of violence worked against cartels? You realize that they send out these fucking drug shippers in droves, right? And they don't give a fuck whether or not all of them return alive or not, right? Like, the only thing they care about is the bottom line, which is the money, right? Like, regardless, like, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to transition careers? Like, do you think they're going to transition careers? The only way, like, you can stop these people, and I've heard about this before, is to legalize drugs. Is to legalize drugs to some degree, so then you're able to treat it in your population. Is to deprive them economically. That is the best way you can do to help regulate like the drug trade, the illegal drug trade, right? That's the only way you can do it. One of the only ways, at the very least. You need people who are able to set up drug treatment centers slowly and carefully. And you need people to be able to not be afraid to treat themselves, right? Do you know how? Okay, because I can't tell. Do you know how Mexicans, like when the Mexican government goes after drug cartels, their cops end up dead. Okay, entire towns are destroyed, right? Yeah,
it's important, right?
I mean, the same argument can be same about terrorists. The use of force won't stop them. That's where you're wrong. Because the thing is that the use of force is the only thing that's left, right? I can understand if that's your only choice. But the thing is that at least you can deprive drug dealers economically. So you're wrong. You can, the much better method, all right, for a group that has direct influence on the American populace. Terrorists do not have influence on the American populace outside of Hasan, okay? Or 9/11, all right? They do not. I'm sorry, they just don't, okay? Terrorists don't have a direct economic trade network that is underground with the American populace, okay? Drug cartels do. You can deprive them economically, okay?
I don't know if there's even any rule of law.
It's not the same.
Do you think in our country, do you think the president should be allowed to unilaterally decide to blow up any boat in international water anytime he wants to?
So based on the way I've observed Trump so far, that he's been able to kind of skirt around all the rule of law, all those convictions that he got, and got like no jail time for some of the court cases, and even though all that election stuff, he lost all those court cases, but he's still able to move forward and things like that. So I trust in his ability to be able to navigate through this, regardless of what the...
Hold on, I just want to run down a couple things. Do you think that Biden pardoning Hunter Biden and all the J6 people, do you think that was okay?
Biden pardoning Hunter Biden?
Yeah, all the pardons that Biden did.
Yes, I'm gonna say yes.
Do you think Kamala tweeting the bail fund for the Minnesota thing after the BLM riots, do you think that was okay?
Sorry, Kamala tweeting what?
Retweeting like that Minnesota bail fund that everybody freaks out about related to the BLM riots.
Minnesota bail fund?
Yeah, she tweeted a bail fund. People say she supported bail for rioters.
Oh, for BLM?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Do you think that I'm trying to think of one more controversy?
What do you mean? Terrorists use the same underground illegal economies that cartels with the American population? I'm talking about the American population here. I'm talking about protecting the populace. The Taliban has an economic connection to the American populace?
Thing.
The same way that drug cartels do? What are you talking about?
I'm sure there are other things.
So for Joe Biden pardoning his son, I think...
well, the point that I want to make, and this is, I don't know if you'll acknowledge it or not, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The issue that I run into with conservatives is when they talk about Democrats, they talk about what they morally ought to do, what Democrats should do, what's right. But when we talk about Republicans, we just talk about what they're physically capable of doing, right? Like if I showed you like, oh, here's Joe Biden, he just raped 10 women, then we would say, rape is wrong, we shouldn't do that, that's not good, Joe Biden shouldn't do it. But like if I show you, well, here's Trump, and he raped 10 women, like the conservatives are like, well, he's got a dick, doesn't he? Like that's just crazy to me. Like when you say Donald Trump has managed to skirt...
Yeah, they'll just be like, boys will be boys. But that's just locker room talk.
The law and get out of like accountability for every fucking
grab
thing he
him
does.
by the pussy.
Like, are you
right?
selling me on this idea? Like, this just sounds horrible. It sounds like a failure of the system. It doesn't sound like something I would ever fucking support. And that's just like an unhinged, unbelievable position for me to take. Like, what? Like, do you think that Donald Trump should constantly be breaking the law, constantly be doing things that are probably not okay, constantly be doing things that he thinks the courts could overturn? Is that good? Do we want to?
So we're getting into like slippery slope, right?
No. The slope can be even right here, and we're just talking about the things he's done. Okay, we're not slipping anywhere. We're right here.
I support everything that he's done.
You support Donald Trump being able to unilaterally kill foreign nationals or blow up ships in international water with no oversight from anybody.
Venezuelan nationals?
You don't know that?
Oh, like national of anybody?
Anybody? No, you have no idea who's on. You don't even know if anybody was on the boat, right?
Well, the intelligence knows. I trust in our government.
Hold on. So you trust the intelligence, the same ones that told us that there. I mean, like, there's a million memes. I know you don't trust the intelligence. I know that was a meme. Okay, your sunglasses can't hide your memery from me here. Okay, I know that's not the case. But like, I don't even know if we have no idea how Trump is even arriving at these decisions, right? Like, we don't know what intelligence they're even consulting when they're making these decisions, right?
I think these are the kind of like the same arguments where people are like, oh, down with the rich, down with the CEOs. There's a privilege and they get to do whatever they want. I think all those people that are in high positions are making very important decisions that they're charged with. I think they take those things seriously.
Okay, here's the issue. The issue is that like your parents could get in a boat and they could take a trip down to the Caribbean and then they could get murked by some Trump drone and he could be out here celebrating that Venezuelan drug dealers got killed.
It's under the slippery slope.
No, this is what's happening. He's killed people. We have no idea what he's doing. We don't have any fucking clue whatsoever.
Has Venezuela come out and said that these guys are
fishers? A couple families come out and said that was just like some fisher people.
Well, they
so could Trump, right? So could Trump, right? But what you're saying here, this is why the process is important, right? This is why the due process is important. Maybe somebody is lying, but we're never going to know, right?
I like how for this guy, like his automatic instincts kicked in. I like how like his automatic like defensive instincts came in. Like, oh my God, that's crazy to me. Like, I don't know. Like the defensive mechanisms automatically kicking in is like fucking with me. But I'm reading something. Something that has super mindfucked me since Destiny pointed it out. I almost never hear conservatives talk about how hot their principles limit. How their principles limit their preferences. E.g., they only wield their religion as a cudgel against gay or trans people, but you never hear them bring up their socio-economic concerns about immigration, but say it's necessary because Jesus said to love thy neighbor. Whereas I've heard multiple libs defend personally horrendous speech because of their principles of free speech. Yeah, I mean that's just the same thing of like conservatives just don't have principles. Conservatives have always been evil, okay? Yeah.
Kill people, who knows?
Yeah, but we would have to trust our government for unity rather than like what the foreign nations might want to say to disrupt their
we never trust one man to make these decisions unilaterally. We have a structure of government with checks and balances where everybody's playing within the bounds of those checks and balances that we trust to operate accordingly. Donald Trump doesn't believe in checks and balances, and he doesn't even believe in the executive branch. He thinks he's he thinks he can do whatever he wants as the president of the United States.
But people from those like intelligence communities are bringing up these strikes to Donald Trump.
Maybe
to approve them, right?
But the problem is like at this point, I think what
he's not handpicking the targets. He's like, I heard of this ship.
I mean, like we had like in the first Trump term, I would say obviously that's the case, but in the second one where we have what was that, like F8B, what the fuck, the schedule shit or whatever, where he's like firing people, like they're asking questions about like, do you support Jan 6 or do you support Donald Trump as the president? I don't know who's left in the intelligence community. I don't know what's filtered up to the top brass or to fucking Kash Patel or any of these other guys. I don't know. I couldn't legitimately say at this point. Like Kash Patel can't answer questions straightforwardly about why he's firing people from the FBI and whether it's because of political partisanship. Yeah, and now Donald Trump is full on that Project 2025 thing. You acknowledge he totally lied about him supporting that, right?
I don't think anybody really believed that. Okay.
He totally lied about that.
Yeah, and
so why should I believe anything?
Good for him. It won in the election.
Sure, and he's getting to blow up Venezuelan boats right now. So good for him, right?
Yeah.
But you just did the thing, right? Good for him. He was able to do a thing, right? He's got a dick, right? He fucks the country. Like, I mean, like, what am I supposed to like? Fuck this guy, you know? Like you're not selling me on him at all. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, can a dictator do anything they want? Can the president do anything they want? But no one's used to the president like acting like a dictator.
Well, this is another hyperbole. Like, he's not acting.
Everything I just said are things that he's done. What do you mean? I haven't even. It's funny that you say I'm speaking hyperbolically when I'm speaking of real things that the U.S. president's done, like in the last year.
No, you're making like examples of what if your mom was in there, or like, oh, he gets to do whatever he wants.
Well, the what if thing is because we don't know who's in those boats. That's true. We don't know who's.
I mean, we can say your mom as an example because she is actually been fucked IRL in the ass.
But then,
reverse cowboy style.
I was just giving a broad explanation like why rule of law is important is because if we don't know who's in the boats, he could blow up anybody. He could blow up you or me or loved ones or hated ones or whatever, right?
Well, from what I've observed of Trump so far, he's not going to push the envelope so far that he's going to get totally annihilated in the courts. Because he doesn't.
But he lost his trial in New York, didn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't get any sentencing for it.
Well, true. But he was convicted. I mean, he was guilty. He was convicted.
He won his
2 federal cases
I'm kidding,
because he was elected president. I mean, good for him there. He has gotten shut down by the Supreme Court a few times on things that he's tried to do, but he just keeps trying to circumvent the rule of law as many ways as he can and hopes that
you don't have to sell me anymore, Destiny.
I mean, I just like... It's just epic and base.
I also wanted to keep it short because I have terrible stage fright and this is like the patsy seat. But yeah, I appreciate I appreciate the time. It was really, really nice seeing you again, and you know, watching you over the years and rising up on the platform.
Well, hold on, wait, fuck all this. Hold on. What is the number one thing that convinced you to be like a Trump supporter?
Oh, what's
like the number one thing that convinced you to be a Trump supporter? You're like, oh, I looked at the.
It was when he won the 2024 election. That's when it convinced me.
So you would have supported whoever won the election?
I feel like there's just like, I feel like there's like a deep, dark pit in my stomach that cannot be undone. Like, I just lost like a family member. Like the moment he said that, I could feel my stomach dropping. Like physically, I could feel my stomach dropping. The moment he said that, I was like, dude. Oh my God. This is too much. Dude, it's too much.
Well, I voted for Kamala, and
Why would then I don't even know.
Because he did the impossible thing, and I have.
Is he saying he's just the bottom? That whoever fucks him the most fiercely, that he'll support, or like what's going on? Is he coming out the closet?
I just have major respect.
What was the impossible thing?
Like I thought it was very, very high chance that
Chill,
Kamala Harris
stop.
was going to win.
You thought it was what?
I thought it was very high chance that Kamala was going to win.
Okay, but
Kamala?
my brain you broke my brain. So like so because he won the election, now you support his policies? Did you not have any policy beliefs before he won the election? I thought you said you were motivated by my critical thinking encouragement and everything. I'm sorry, what happened? Where did we go wrong?
Destiny. What if this guy represents DGG? This guy represents DGG. What? This is the average voter? I thought you said this is the average light skin because I saw your name and like the two words mixed together because your name is Young Light Skin. You got permabanned from DGG like 10 years ago? How? For what?
You watched me during a league arc.
Well, I mean, policies are going to be, debated regardless of who's the president, right?
I'm crying.
So we're just like weighing, is Trump's policy is going to be worse or is
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. What thing convinced you that Trump would be better, or that Trump is better than what Kamala would have been?
I think he's a better president because he is able to capture the votes of all those people. And he is able to skirt around the law in the way that he did and rise to power.
Do you think that's like a good thing for the country? Do you think that's like a successful path for the United States to be on?
I think there are definitely some things that Trump has done that the future candidates should kind of take advantage of, because it's all about pushing advantages, right? It's not about like digging your heels in on some moral ground and be like, oh, kids should be able to do trans stuff.
Is the marker of like the success of a president just them winning the election? Like if they win, that means that they're to be admired or respected or that they're a good leader? Is that it? Like there must be something.
You're saying that the only reason that I support Trump is because he won.
Well, that's what you said, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, that was like the tipping point, right? Because I've had qualms about the Democratic Party for a long time, also. That was like the tipping point for me.
Well, but what tipped you?
That so many people are behind him.
If not to role play as your mom, but like if all your friends jumped off a cliff, would you jump off the cliff too? I don't understand this train of thought.
I probably would. If my friends are my family, and I want to support my family, and I trust my family, if I trust my family, and I support my family, then I would go the same direction. That's my honor and duty, and unity. Those are the values that I think Trump brings.
Well, but I mean, there is no unity. He's the most divisive president in history, right?
Only if you're a leftist.
No, I mean, like by popular support, he's like the most divisive president in the history of the United States, right?
Wait, so he adopts... Wait, he's a troll? I can forgive Destiny for not recognizing Asian guy as a troll because he's in the middle of a debate. But how's Foodshops falling for it this far into it? There's no way. No, you don't understand. You don't get it. There are people who's legitimately like this. You might think, oh wow, it's so obvious that this guy's a troll. Stop. You don't know. Wait, do you know that? Has this person admitted that they're a troll? Because guess what? I have heard the same exact fucking argument before. I have heard this from a person who's debated Destiny, who has said verbatim the reason why he votes for Trump and the reason why he's a Trump supporter is because Trump won the election and because Trump loves to subvert the law, okay? Trump subverts the law like a pro, so therefore I'm a Trump supporter. I've heard that verbatim. This is an actual fucking thing. You are delusional. You are a moron. I am blocking you.
The second most...
Okay, I'm not going to block you, okay? But listen.
Divisive was him in his first term, and just in terms of like raw popularity.
Well, if the left...
No, you don't understand. I've heard this argument before. I've literally heard this. Are both of them trolls? They're not the same person, by the way. Are both of them trolls? This is the legendary Bomb Jin. He's not legendary for being a good representation of DEG. He's infamous for being racist, misogynist, and possibly a groomer. Politics are just the meme to person. Asmon Tectone fans are literally like this. Oh, okay. No, listen, listen, it doesn't even matter how I don't care about how reprehensible this person is, okay? It doesn't matter. Okay, let's move on.
Or to open their hearts a little bit and maybe listen to what he's saying.
So he's the most divisive president in history, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know where the unity thing came from. In terms of honor or integrity, I don't know what the fuck is honorable about this guy.
Well, that was just an example of like, oh, if all of your friends jumped off a cliff, then yeah, I would follow my honor and I would follow my friends. Because that is what is expected for people of a group, people of a community to do. We should be united.
Yeah, but like, shouldn't we be united as like Americans, not as like Democrats or Republicans necessarily?
That depends on how terrible the Democrats are.
Yeah, but I mean, you said yourself you voted for Kamala.
I did.
But then
I thought having a black female president would be based.
That's the only reason?
And she comes from a legal background and all this. She has all those qualifications, yeah. And when I see her at hearings,
so wait, did all of your political beliefs change after Trump was elected?
I mean, isn't that what you guys are doing also? That you guys are trying to change conservative minds?
No, but our positions didn't change.
Oh well,
I'm saying I don't know how all your positions changed.
Well, positions have to change in order to like switch to a different party, right?
I know, but I'm asking, did they all? Why would they all change just because Trump won the election?
Let's see. I mean, just because Trump won doesn't make Kamala all her qualifications invalid.
No, but you said it was a tipping point for you. Why don't I just? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Epic.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Put your hands up for Asian guy.
Oh my god. I need some light in my life right now. Please, I need something truly miraculous to happen. I can't not. No, I can't. No, I don't know. Bro, you can't say. Stop. Okay, stop. You guys need to stop with, oh, he could be a troll. He's most likely a troll. He's definitely a troll. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? Because the thing is that this is a legitimate argument that exists. Okay? The fact that we're even questioning whether or not this person is a troll is the issue. Okay? We're questioning because this person could be legitimate, this person could entirely be illegitimate. But the fact that we're even asking this goes to show how far gone we have gone. Okay? The question, whether or not this person is a troll does not matter. Okay? The fact that we're even asking this question, how's that not scary? Okay.
Well,
it's not like I'm gonna be like, oh, that person was a troll. Oh, okay, all right, everything is fine now. Everything is fine now. Okay, I'm no longer doom repealed. Okay, I'm no longer doom repealed. Everything is fine now. He's a troll. I got you. Okay, fam, I got you. All right. What are you talking about?
We are going to be transitioning into the poster signing. Everybody. We have free posters that Steven's going to be signing on stage. You can get a photo with Steven. The line is going to start here.
Wait, are we doing this right now?
Yeah, we gotta move. Gotta move.
What the fuck? I thought we had till 11.
I know we do, but it's gonna be a while. Okay, well, I'm open to negotiating.
Let's do one more debater. Let's go.
Okay, let's see. We're 9:34. Okay.
Wait. Are there any other pro-Trump debaters?
That's my Steven.
Are there any pro-Trump debaters who haven't had a chance to debate tonight? Right there. You're pro-Trump. You got a pro-Trump position to debate. Okay, fantastic. What's your name? Wyatt. All right, everyone, put your hands together for Wyatt. 20 minutes, Wyatt. We got you for 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Damn, I just said like one more, like 5 minutes. Jesus. Fuck
15
me.
to 20.
Okay.
There you go.
We'll
Nice
see.
to meet you.
Indeed.
God. What's up?
By the way,
Do you know why? Do you know why he wanted to hurry things along? Is because he knew I was streaming, okay? Because he knew I was streaming, he was like, bro, we gotta end this soon because I gotta watch Foodshops coverage of this. Thank you, fam. Okay, I appreciate it, brother. Okay.
fellow Canadian.
They're speaking to me. They're speaking to me. They're speaking to me. They're speaking to me.
Nova Scotia.
Okay, all right.
Sweet.
Dual citizen.
Date me, baby,
Indeed.
one more time. Sorry.
I will say so. My position that I'm, I guess, pro-Trump, and this is the reason why I didn't buy the debate ticket because I didn't have anything until recently. His action on the H-1B visa, I have found, shockingly, I support.
Do we have? Is that $100,000 thing? Is that like confirmed? Is that 100%, or is that like still another?
They told us they had the venue until 11. I don't know why they wanted to end so early. I honestly don't know. Okay, maybe I don't know why either. Okay, maybe he really did want to watch my fucking live. I don't fucking know. Jesus. Yeah. Anyway.